first pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Fernando Mendoza.
I knew it! Fernando Mendoza!
Have a number 1 overall pick. They have a Heisman winner. They have a national championship in football, and now they have a number 1 overall pick. Now, the Indiana football team does not know that this has happened officially because Kurt Cignetti, head coach of the Indiana football team, scheduled their spring game for tonight with no TVs on anywhere.
No way.
I love that. I do. He's a Western Pennsylvania guy as well, so shout out to Cignetti. We met another Cignetti today in our journeys amongst a bunch of Italians. Mendoza, though, special season, Mad Mel, and what he did and where he did it matters. He put Indiana football literally on the map for the first time ever, Mad Mel.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, you guys talked about it. I think the big trade ahead.
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to the Pat McAfee Show, Draft Spectacular, live from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And also, Fernando Mendoza has got drafted as the number 1 pick.
I don't know, I don't know what the conjecture
Because
is.
I have no clue what to say to this, but
they signed Kirk Cousins this offseason.
Okay, now it gets interesting, right? And Jeremy Fowler of ESPN just tweeted out, once the Raiders select, expect the Jets to hang on to clock a beat, okay? See what calls potentially come in. New York has done a good job camouflaging their plans. Let's head to the bunker, boys. Peter Schrager, you've been a part of this number 2 overall pick odds swing a couple different times. Mock draft 1, David Bailey at 2. Mock draft 2, David Bailey at 2. You've considered that the number 2 pick this entire time. Today, Arvell Reese's odds skyrocketed to be the favorite for number 2 overall. Are they trading out of there? What do you think happens here, Schrager?
There was such a swing today to go in Arvell Reese's favor, a swing that I've never seen before. I can only compare this to the Trey Lance Mac Jones year when everyone going into draft day was all in on Mac Jones being the 49ers draft pick at 3rd overall, and then Trey Lance was a surprise pick to some. Others afterwards patted themselves on the back and said, oh, I knew. No, you didn't know. You would have said it if you knew. I was a Mac Jones guy. I was wrong on that one. I've been David Bailey all along. I'm not getting off David Bailey Island. And yet if it's Arvell Reese, I will tip my cap and say, well, I guess I did a poor job leading up to this draft.
Listen, he was a skater boy. See you later, boys. Arvell Reese.
Yep.
And
It's complicated, Pat. It's very complicated. That's an apple.
Why you gotta be so yeah, I understand.
So we got a hot bat?
He is.
Canadian.
You said he was going to be excited. You going Raw Dog's crazy because you could potentially be getting information right now.
I'm not checking anything. I'm raw dogging this thing, and I like it better that way. I'll tell you, my information's good. I don't need to be on the phone tonight during the draft. Jeremy Fowler, thank you for that very useful tweet right there. I don't know what we did. Look, of course they're taking calls. Let's
Sure. Number 2 overall pick gets traded gigantic. Now, we have since learned from source that the Raiders were going to take draft center number 2 as well. So that was going to be their pick. Instead, Jacksonville Jaguars day of draft make massive trade. They get up in there. I'm going to be honest. Jeremy Fowler's tweet informed me that people were thinking about trading number 2. I hadn't heard that at all this year.
Have not.
I heard there was going to be really not that much movement. But I like that we're getting a little bit of a
This
shake,
is why we love this
rattle,
stuff.
and roll. And ladies and gentlemen, the pick is in. But I'm excited to see what happens here for the Jets.
I'm very excited to see, too. Peter Schrager just talked about the Mac Jones pick. I never thought he was going 3 just because of the traits. The thing about these guys up here at the top of the draft, Bailey and Reese, they both have those elite traits. So I'll be excited. Either one of those guys get their name called right now.
Okay, the pick is in. What does that mean, Coach? So they called and said what it is. Now Raj is in the back getting the card made. So how long do we think we have?
They had their pick in before Mendoza, and they knew today who they were going to pick. They were waiting to see if there was anyone that had any seriousness about to move it down and what they could get for it. But I think that this is a pick they're going to make. I think it's going to be Bailey.
Okay. Release hybrid player. I get all that. But Bailey to me is the best pass rusher in this draft right now. And to me, that's the guy you get.
Who would be his comp for you? You have one.
I mean, he's got a little bit of James Harrison. He can bend. He's not a real tall guy, so I love his ability to bend and get around the corner. And he's got great speed. He's powerful, and he's got a great motor. I mean, there's not a whole lot not to like about this guy. Ladies and gentlemen, This number 2 overall pick was a big storyline because Aaron Glenn was keeping everything tight over there.
Very
They need it.
bad. In the worst way.
Yeah.
This better be a fucking home
They
run.
didn't have one interception. They had like 14 sacks the entire year.
Ladies and gentlemen, who will be a New York Jet? Is this the pivotal turnaround piece for the New York Jets history?
With the second pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select David Bailey.
Oh!
Schrager!
Yeah, David!
Schrags, good for you, buddy. Okay, you had to.
Yeah, he did.
That started working against you, Schrags. Why did you think that? What? Did you think it was because of the situation? Do you think because the type of player he was? Was it what you were hearing? Why were you so confident? And also, by the way, Coach Cowher just immediately goes, "It's going to be Bailey. I don't know what we're doing." Why were you
There's
so
the
in on
scene.
that, Schrags?
There's the scene in Braveheart where he's looking in the paint, and there's a meme, and it's just hold, and that's how I felt. And I'm telling you, when those things swing to minus 450, minus 5, I'm really okay. Well, I must. What a ride that was. And I'll tell you, why did I think so from the beginning? Because of the way the Jets are looking to build this team. Arvell Reese is going to be a wonderful pro, and he is 20 years old, and he's as versatile chess piece. David Bailey is what they consider a more polished piece, and the rest of the league feels the same thing. Jets can't be messing around right now, and guess what? They go with David Bailey, and Peter Schrager is redeemed. I can walk off the set. I raw dogged that whole thing, by the way.
You didn't get your phone.
I didn't look at my phone once, and I mean, this was an amazing ride. Draft spectacular. Let's go, Bailey!
Okay, we only got 4 hours left in this thing. You can go get your phone, though, Schrags, I think, because you
He's got
clearly
it
won
down.
here. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, need that.
That was a quickie there at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a tip there, that raw dog thing. Just a tip of the draft.
That's Pat telling you, hey, get your phone out. Let's get some sources going.
Yeah, you
Now
should
go to work.
Now, no, and also live your life, dude. Okay, you got this one right. You should be pumped up about
Gonna cry
that.
about
But those odds shifting were crazy. Now, he led the FBS in 2025 with 23 tackles for loss, 20.2 pressure percentage, 14.5 sacks in 2025. Most in FBS and second most in Texas Tech history behind Brandon Sharp. Had an edge pass rush score of 99.7. Bill Cowher.
Yeah.
That's out of 100 per Teamworks data in 2025, which we all know what that is. Second best in FBS, trailing only Western Michigan. All right. Okay, anyways,
He's a good
there's
player.
a lot of good stats
Good
here.
player.
David Bailey, though, he is a made man walking through the door. Is that what people were thinking?
Yeah, you put it with Will McDonald, the #1 pick from last year. So no, they got a couple years ago. So they got 2 good edge rushers. I think Aaron Glenn is going to get back into calling defenses again, get more involved with that defense on this year. So I think this is a great piece for him to work with. Again, 2 good edge rushers.
Connor, Texas Tech has a #2 overall pick.
Pretty unbelievable.
This feels like this is just the beginning for what the Red Raiders are cooking down there with Cody Campbell and the boys who, great shovelers.
Oh, yeah.
Every time they put a shovel in the dirt, millions of dollars comes out.
That's right.
And it's all going to Texas Tech. This guy's been training and preparing like a pro for a long time, I think, down there in Texas Tech. This is just the first, I think, of many for them coming out of Lubbock, Texas down there.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's kind of the benefit of the NIL. You get to see different guys from different schools. We're going Indiana to Texas Tech 1, 2. I wonder if that's ever happened. Probably not. There also has to be a consideration with the Jets actually taking a guy that is productive and good. Like, we're talking about the Jets having a good future and all these picks. If the Jets think again, we don't know if these guys are going to be picking next year with the players when it comes to Aaron Glenn and Muji. But you also have to wonder, was Aaron Glenn awake during Arvell Reese running? We don't know. He was awake during Bailey. Bailey seemed to be the one that was like, hey, this isn't a project. This
Listen,
guy's going to go there.
That was a
and be-
quiet area.
I agree.
The combine had very still air. Okay, it was a lot of boring atmosphere.
Yeah, no music.
Every once in a while, you're going to just doze off, especially whenever you're handling business late at night. They go with the more mature pass rusher, I guess, at this stage of ball.
Polish, yeah.
But 99.7 rating out of Teamworks data per rush of the Super Duper.
You don't know what it means, but it's got to be good, right?
99.7.
Schrags was talking raw dog. You watch David Bailey. He's raw dogging out there.
Yes,
No
he
wristbands, no
Yeah.
gloves, no wrist tape. Like Carnell Lake, a great safety that you coached
Yeah.
for a while. You can always spot those guys. I wonder if he's going to do this at the next level. Anytime you're playing with no gloves on, immense respect for you. Because once you wear gloves and play football, it's tough to take those gloves off and feel as safe and as confident hitting people. And this guy's a monster.
I would assume he sprays his own.
Water bottle.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
You got to be a dog to come out on the field dressed like that. Too,
Yeah.
because
And those things,
That's that you have to.
when he
You
gets
gotta be a
older,
monster.
yeah, but I do like the crop toppy, loose bottom. But the fingers by the end of this guy's career are going to be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to be awesome. We
Oh, yeah.
appreciate your service for football. Good luck as a New York Jet. Obviously, they need it over there. Okay, the Cardinals are now on the clock. Let's go to the bunker, boys. Hey, Tone, Cardinals have been linked to quarterback, but everybody says too early at 3 for a quarterback. Then there was a conversation. DN could go, then DN again, and then we'll get a run of something else. What are we eyeing for the Cardinals here at number 3? Tone?
So there has been a lot of talk about them potentially trying to move back because of you can't take Ty Simpson at 3.
But why though? On that note,
You're right.
Bingo.
A lot of this draft, everyone's like, if you like your guy,
Dano likes him.
take your guy. That's true. I wouldn't take anyone that Dan Orlovsky likes. That being said,
the guy sitting next to you there, he was saying Dan Orlovsky might be reigning supreme by the end of this.
he might, and we will see. But I still believe that Mendoza went ahead of Ty Simpson, so we'll see there.
Okay, go ahead.
But if it's a stick and pick, they think it might be Jeremiah Love, Arvell Reese. The Cardinals have had issues with tweeners before. They have a pass with that, so that's kind of a bad taste in their mouth. There's a lot of guys but Jeremiah Love is the favorite right now.
Jeremiah Love, absolute difference maker. You know, the conversation was he's a running back, positional value, and then everybody just started saying he was a weapon, Mad Mel. That's what everybody was talking about with Jeremiah Love. We seen him up close and personal explode through a line for 98 yards in the playoffs in about 4-degree weather. He's special on the football field.
Yeah, without a doubt, kind of a mixture of like a Tim Biakabatuka and maybe a Ron Dane if you rolled him into one. I know that's hard to imagine, Coach, but he is, I think, the most explosive, talented.
Biakabatuka?
Well, oh God,
Yes,
don't get me
he's
started.
explosive.
How much time we got? Don't get me started on Tim Biakabatuka, one of the best halfbacks I've ever analyzed and evaluated. But going back to Jeremiah Love, okay, unbelievable player, might be the best player in the draft. I think if the Cardinals win 3 games, we can just put Michael Floor in the Hall of Fame, so it doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah, you're right. Not a great team, but maybe they'll find a new star.
With the 3rd pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Jeremiah Love.
Yeah, Jeremiah Love!
Coach Carr, Jeremiah Love, the positional value thing got thrown around a little bit a few weeks ago, and then it felt like everybody was kind of in agreement. He's not just a running back, and the NFL game might suit him
Welcome
a little bit better.
to the first round of the NFL Draft, live from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and the show we're watching right now is the Pat McAfee Show. And I know earlier today on ESPN2, we had the Rich Eisen Show live from Pittsburgh, PA today. And also this morning, we had the Dan Patrick Show live from Pittsburgh, PA. Like they did on day 1 yesterday. They did day number 2, and tomorrow is their final day. Before they traveling back to the main cave and Connecticut. I have no sense of humor. It's my honor and privilege because now we have been watching the Dan Patrick Show since last year in October, by the way. We watched it since October, November, December, January, February, March, April. You watched it about 7 months.
Yeah, there's an interesting thing that maybe 28 other teams,
7 months,
might not have thought Jeremiah Love 3rd overall. The Cardinals, though, specifically with their new coach on the floor, Nathaniel Hackett, the new
because
they felt that they needed to get that playmaker. Remember, they brought in LaFleur because of what they watched him do with the Rams for all those years as a coach. Offense. And in this draft, in another draft where there was Myles Garrett or Aiden Hutchinson or Mario Williams on the board, maybe you consider defensive end. They didn't view Arvell Reese as that player. They did view Jeremiah Love as an instant impact guy. And Pat, I would add this. All that talk of trades. Not only did they not get a real offer to come all the way up, but those calls kind of never really came today. It felt like everyone was like, all right, Arizona, make your pick and we'll be here. But there was no blow back your hair offer that was made today for the Arizona Cardinals 3rd overall pick, which leaves both Reese and Styles on the board, and the New York Giants and the Tennessee Titans having to decide who's going to get who in those two.
And oh my God, no Ohio State Buckeyes have been drafted yet. Okay, AJ.
You guys stink. Time to panic, pal.
you think we're going to see Arvell and Sonny go back-to-back here? We don't know the order.
There was in everybody's mock, there felt like there was back-to-back.
Yeah.
Those two.
The Schrags down, the Raw Dog Bunker Boys, are they down there? Is that what Schrags believes will happen?
Is that what was your mock? Well, your mock was Arvell. It was Sonny
at
and then
4.
Arvell.
It was Sonny, then Arvell at 5. So this was my mock. We're 2 for 2, 3 for 3. Should we just go 32 for 32? Let's go! I am feeling my stuff at their Bailey. I swear that was a sweated out one, dude. That was.
I liked watching your reaction there. I felt like we learned a lot about you there. At one point, you felt like you were in a full euphoric laid back. You see the legs were spread. He had no phone to distract him either. He was living in that moment, in that trailer.
It's beautiful.
With the Bunker brother, Tyron Diggs.
I'll never forget.
I'll say this about your pick with Sonny Styles at 4. Obviously, Saleh is the new head coach. Who did he have at middle linebacker in San Francisco? I'm not saying that's who Sonny Styles is, but he definitely has potential. He was an absolute freak at the combine. He was a safety that moved to linebacker. He missed 1 tackle this entire season. That's someone that in the free agency this year, they went all defense there too. So now I think Sonny makes a lot of
Just real quick, he's obviously Fred Warner is who he's talking about, but also he was a big Tremaine Edmonds fan coming out of the draft that year and loved the way that he played. So Saleh, his defense always that, but that said, if I know a solid defense, it's waves of pass rushers. Just keep it coming. Keep it. So either one of those guys can make sense, and I'll throw out another name. As obviously the pick hasn't been in, and I don't have any intel. They were talking about Carnell Tate. I'm saying Carnell Lake.
That was AJ's fault.
Carnell Lake, great player,
Great player, no gloves.
weapon.
He was talking about those guys too. So you could have one of those 3 guys that could be a possibility right now. And I love the suspense. It's awesome.
Okay, so Rappaport tweeted that the Titans are sticking and picking. And so not tipping picks, but maybe
Letting you know, trades.
As long as the pick hasn't been in yet, I love that. That's good reporting from Ian.
Coach Kyle, okay, I like that you're becoming the authority on it as well. I do like that. I do like that that's happening. And also, it's a good thing. We got to experience all this together. Yep. I like that. I like that a lot. Now, Coach Coward, you're the Titans. You're Coach Saleh trying to turn around a program. Obviously, they've kind of had self-inflicted wounds along the way, but it does feel fresh. He's a defensive guy. Does that make you lean? He's obviously going to go defense here?
Yeah, I think Arvell Reese is the guy because I think he also gives you pass rush, he gives you coverage, he gives you a guy who's kind of a hybrid player. And so I think when you go
think
to
defense, though?
Yeah, he's going defense for sure. And I think Sonny Styles makes a good place. I'll tell you the guy I am intrigued by is Caleb Downs. I think Caleb Downs is a guy that maybe not right here, but if he doesn't go here, look for the next pick with the New York Giants because I think he looks like a Kyle Hamilton type of guy.
Okay, I like that. John Harbaugh would obviously love to see that continue. Remember, Daboll was brought in for Cam Ward with the Tennessee Titans as well. Well, they try to protect him, too. There's so many different ways to view this. New head coach, though, Coach Saleh, who we've seen him be a head coach before, get another opportunity at it. What would he want to get different if he could do it again? I'm fascinated by this pick. There's so many.
Well, that's so fun watching the show.
I'm surprised there's no trade. Like Traeger in his mock draft had the Cowboys moving up to make a pick, and you would think with Arvell Reese or Sonny Styles, maybe they would move back and then give Saleh more picks. But now you get a top 4. Maybe the number 1 linebacker, maybe the number 1 receiver. Like, that's also a great way to start your tenure.
Here comes Roger Goodell. The pick is in. The Titans. Coach Saleh. Daboll.
All right. Let's see who was the 4th pick.
In the 2026 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Carnell Tate.
Oh! Carnell Tate got selected to the Titans.
Our headphones are in, or whatever the case is. That is a shocker, though, D-Bud. I like getting a weapon for Cam.
We just talk about explosive players, explosive plays. We know how important that is and how the NFL is played today. So you got quarterback, you got wide receiver, corner, pass rushers. Those are kind of those premium positions. So this kind of lets you know how the NFL view Carnell Tate. This is a high spot for a wide receiver. But if he's going to be a game changer for your young quarterback, get a big play. You talk about Saleh, he loves defense, but he's also been a head coach on the sideline with a very, very shitty offense. So get him some weapons, get Daboll a weapon. I love this pick right here if you have conviction.
And Robert Saleh can do more with less.